Lewis Hamilton found unusual and quite unexpected competition in Russell last year, and it seems like that trend is continuing in the 2023 campaign. However, recent reports show that maybe Hamilton is doing all this on purpose, giving Russell some hope and then ruthlessly snatching it away once he has the right car in his hands. With the 7-time world champion waiting for his team to provide him with decent machinery, could we see Russell falling down the Mercedes pecking order as the old fox regains what he believes is rightfully his? Join us as we go through Hamilton's way of wearing Russell down and making a perfect storm scenario for the foreseeable future. Russell joined the Silver Arrows last year, the one in which the team struggled to extract performance out of the W13. The team labelled the car as one of the worst that had exited production out of Brackley, but when Hamilton and Russell went on track with the W14 in the first race of the season, Hamilton was quick to apply that etiquette to this season's challenger as well. Nonetheless, it seems like the Briton is doing it all on purpose, and if there is one thing that Hamilton does best, it's beating teammates one way or another. As of now, he's found Russell a hard nut to crack, as the younger Briton was able to outperform the 7-time world champion by 35 points in the 2022 campaign. To add to this scenario, Russell was the one driver that managed to pick up a pole position and a race win during the team's troublesome season, meaning that one way or another, he was the driver that Mercedes was heavily betting on to deliver the results. But apart from all of the duties that Russell has at Mercedes in terms of the car's development and everything around the track, he has a lot of off-track duties as well, such as being president of the GPDA. This is a role that he was given during his time at Williams, and in all honesty, he's been doing it really well. Russell has been speaking out loudly against the FIA's decisions at certain points, and while it sounds arrogant at times, the young Briton has been making valid points for himself and his colleagues. However, this may be something that Hamilton is trying to use to his own advantage, and apart from that, you have probably noticed that whenever the question is being asked to both Mercedes drivers, Hamilton is very happy to leave Russell to respond to the question. You may ask yourself, why does a 7-time world champion give the opportunity to a driver that is in his second year with the team to be the spokesperson of the team? According to Tom Clarkson, this is all part of a huge plan, as he went on to add, in the press conference in Australia after qualifying second and third, with Max of course on pole, every time a question was posed to both the Mercedes drivers, Lewis was quite happy for George to answer the question. He almost became the spokesperson for the team in that press conference, and I was interested as to why Lewis was just happy to sit back and let that happen. I don't know whether he's sort of keeping his powder dry. Is he trying to give him false hope of being the dominant person, and then he's going to really hit him hard when it matters most on the stopwatch later on? I don't know what his thought process is, but it was interesting anyway to observe that he very much let George be the man. If there's one thing I can guarantee about Hamilton, is that he doesn't let anyone else in the team be the man, or the alpha male, call it what you will. In his first season with McLaren, he went up against a 2-time world champion in Alonso and never backed down. And in 2016, he went into a fierce battle with Rosberg, his long-time childhood friend and rival. And although he lost that battle, he won the previous 2 against the guy who retired right after winning the first and only championship in his career. All of this forces us to think in one direction. Why is Hamilton giving up so easily while Russell is out there scoring decent results and taking on all of the team's responsibilities? The simple answer would be keeping his head in a calm and cool place. Formula 1 is a sport that can take so much from you. And if you ask drivers like Bottas and Rosberg what was the toll they paid for going up against Hamilton, you'd already know the answer. Apart from Russell having to outperform Hamilton on a daily basis, which he has done pretty frequently in the last year, he has to do a lot of extracurricular activities such as being the president of the GPDA. That's something that can take a lot of mental focus from you and can absolutely tear you down, and if you think about it, Russell's mind may not be in the best place possible if he continues at this tempo. Sure, he's young and can take so much right now, and given the fact that he drives for one of the most successful teams in F1 history, going against a 7-time world champion, the motivation's definitely there. But motivation and energy are two different things. Damon Hill, the 1996 F1 world champion, also believes that Hamilton's political games are part of a bigger plan. As he went on to add, drivers are competitive and we are kind of political as well. You have to be aware of the rising forces or rising empires within a team. George has to make himself a valued asset of the team, and he's obviously doing that really well, but at the same time, he's the one that has to do all the hard work. I don't think Lewis has to. Mercedes know what they've got with Lewis. They know that given half a sniff of a chance, he's going to be back on top form and can deliver those extraordinary races. They know that George can do that too, but he has yet to prove it. George is also the director of the GPDA, so he's got a big workload. He's taken on quite a lot, but I think Lewis's strategy has always been to remove as many distractions as possible and leave time for downtime and clarity. When against the previous two opponents that I mentioned, Hamilton challenged and didn't even care about showing aggression when it needed to be shown. However, the situation with Russell is different for one huge reason. Mercedes isn't a championship team right now. They don't have the capacity to win races frequently and to be up there fighting against Red Bull. So, being honest, Hamilton's strategy to wear and tear Russell down by the time Mercedes can actually score huge wins could go down as one of the smartest things that he's pulled off in Formula One. And while we are yet to see Russell achieve anywhere near what Hamilton has in his F1 career, one thing is for sure: he won't go down without a fight. We've been warned about this by Wolff, who said that the respect being shown by both drivers at the moment is because they're fighting for P5 and P6, and as Rosberg mentioned last year, as a warning to Russell, the last thing that Hamilton wants is to lose to a teammate. Russell is definitely a solid driver and does have the opportunity to be the leader in Mercedes in the next couple of years when Hamilton decides to retire. This will definitely be a scenario that takes place in the Brackley-based squad. Although I hope that Hamilton will follow in Alonso's footsteps and race until he's in his mid-40s. But that is very unlikely to happen, as the 7-time world champion has said that he doesn't aspire to race beyond 40. With this in mind, Russell should be very careful because he has yet to prove himself in Mercedes, and while he has been scoring more than decent results with a car that's far from its optimal setup, he needs to prove that he can go head-to-head with Hamilton once Mercedes finds the pace in the W14 or in the car for 2024. Remember, one of the reasons why Russell is doing so well with Mercedes is that he has been driving a bad car in Williams for 3 years, and while the Mercedes isn't comparable to Williams in any way, the previous year was one in which the team had to deal with a troublesome car, something that suited Russell more than it did Hamilton. What do you think about Hamilton's mind games? Do you think that he can wear and tear Russell down and then take what he rightfully believes is his, the 8th World Championship? Let us know in the comments below.